on September 23rd, the feast of Padre Pio, and it was the day after we celebrated my daughter's 9th birthday. So we had plans for the day, and we woke up. Mark woke up first. He went down. Well, first he woke me up. We had some children in bed with us. So he went downstairs to put the quiche in the oven. We had co-op that morning, and I was about to get in the shower, and I saw red and blue flashing lights on our wall, right back here, and no sound, but I just saw the lights. So I went to the window to see if there was a deer that was hit, or somebody got pulled over at the end of our driveway. And I go and I see our whole driveway and our whole lawn covered with, it had to have been at least 15 vehicles. In fact, once I had gone downstairs, I could see that they were around the side of my house and everything. Heavily armed, shields, helmets, vests, big, huge, long rifle type guns. And they were running all around the property and getting behind cars and doors. And then I start walking to the door, and I hear pounding on the door and somebody yelling, and Mark says, who is it? And they said, open the door. And he said, well, who is it? He can't see, but our doors are, solid. So he couldn't see what was out front. I'm the only one who actually saw what was happening outside before he opened the door. So I'm coming down the steps, and he says, who is it? They said it was FBI, to open the door, and they're yelling and screaming, and the kids were woken up, and they all come to the top of the staircase, and some of them are coming down the stairs with me, and I'm trying to keep them away. Mark says, please, I have 7 babies in the house. I'm going to open the door, but please, I have 7 babies. And he just kind of pleaded with them twice. And so he opens the door, and immediately there's guns pointed at him, a gun pointed at me on the staircase, and then another gun over our threshold and pointed, kind of like scanning the home. Our children were right there. Our door faces our staircase. It's an open staircase. So, essentially they had guns pointed at them. It's hard to even wrap my mind still around that thought. So it was terrifying. The children are screaming and crying. You just figure one move from a 4-year-old and something tragic could have happened. So he says, he comes out, well, what's going on? And, they just immediately grab him and handcuff him. And I continued to come down the stairs, and I just said, who are you? What are you here for? Well, we're here for him. And I said, well, who? Well, him. Well, who is that? Mark Houck. Okay, well, do you have a warrant? And they said, well, we're taking him whether we have a warrant or not. And I said, well, you can't do that. Well, that's like kidnapping at gunpoint, essentially. You can't just, I don't care who you are or who you work for, but you can't come to someone's house with guns and then take somebody, So they said that they would get me the warrant. Mark asked me, it was very, very cold. And, Mark had just woken up, so he was just in shorts and a t-shirt downstairs, no shoes, no socks. And he said, can you go upstairs and get me a sweatshirt? Again, everything is very chaotic because the children are just crazy. They're crying and screaming, and my one son said, he's my best friend. You can't take him. He's my best friend. And my daughter what particularly she had come downstairs, the one who had just turned 9 the day before. And there were men, we have glass doors in the back of our house. And there were men with guns at the glass door, and she was terrified. And then she came running over to me. So I have kids like attached to me, screaming and crying. I'm trying to get Mark a sweatshirt. And then he also had asked for his rosaries. I come downstairs and they took him. He was gone. And then they yelled back that they were going to bring me the warrant. And one of the FBI agents came up, and he just tore off a piece of paper of like a packet and told me that they were taking him to the federal building, and that, you know, that he would probably be seen by a magistrate that day, and that I would hear from him or a lawyer or something. I'm not really sure. It was kind of, you know, just a lot going on. So that was how the morning went, you know, and then I think, you know, some people may have seen some pictures as they were leaving. I quickly said to my son, please go get my phone. It's on the charger upstairs. And so he did. So I was able to take a couple pictures, but people were already leaving. So that's, you know, that's about all I was able to get. But you can clearly see the kind of uniform they were wearing at my house and who it was. So it was you know, state troopers and FBI agents that we could see specifically, but there was many unmarked units. So we don't know all of the different, you know, people who came to our house or agents, but so that's what happened.